Okay, we spoke of stringencies, we spoke of leniencies. There is also, within the system of halacha, there is a place for custom in what opinions to follow in what kinds of situations, or even to go sub-halacha to some degree. I want to explain just what that means. If there's a custom that defies halacha, we call that a mistaken custom, minhag ta'us. It's a mistaken custom, it has no validity. The fact that people do something does not mean that it's right.
Can you give an example?
What kinds of things do observant Jews do that are not permissible?
Getting on and off the bus.
Sure, I mean, there are so many things that between man and man. No, what am I talking about? People that are dishonest in business, people that are people who feel that you have the right to cheat government. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Oh, that's what everybody does. That's what everybody does. Does not create halacha and is not valid. Period.
What about the concept of like doing the community? Is that's only when it's not in the face of halacha?
Not against halacha. You can't define halacha. You can't define halacha. You know, sure, there are lots of things that are convenient, and therefore people do them. And then they say it's the dumb thing, and it becomes a custom. That's not a valid custom. Yeah.
There's some customs revolving around like superstition. Maybe like they burn something at an event to ward off the evil eye, or throw water.
Even there, you have to be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Anything that doesn't work is included in superstition, which is prohibited. It's a Torah prohibition. It's called darkei or mori, to do what the Amorites did, which is basically superstition. Remedies that don't work. You're not allowed to use remedies that don't work.
Is that for all superstition? Like, I heard a superstition of like, you can't like, if there's a pole in the street, you can't walk on the other side of the pole. Like things that aren't like you're actively doing them, but like a low say superstition.
You don't do that.
You like, would you actively do it in order to like counteract?
You don't have to go out of your way to do it, but you do not avoid it with the knowledge that, this is superstition. If a black cat walks in front of you and you therefore think that, it's like bad luck, and there's something you're not going to do because on a day a black cat walks in front of me, I'm not going to invest in. No, that's not permissible. The Shulchan Aruch discusses very interesting thing. The custom is that all the yeshivas back in the olden days all begin on the first day of the month. So it's brought down that is not superstition. That's for a good sign to start the month on the right foot. That's not a superstition. We don't claim that by doing that something's going to happen. It's just, it's psychologically it's a good thing. Or something that's done as a siman. The fact that the Ashkenazi chuppah is held under the stars. As a sign, they should have children like the stars. That's not superstition. We don't say that they'll have more kids because they got married outdoors. If we made that claim, then that would be superstition. We don't necessarily find that Ashkenazim have more kids than Sephardim do. So any kind of so-called custom that either defies halacha or involves some kind of ritual that the Torah would prohibit is not a custom. It's not acceptable. Where does custom come in? When there are two opinions and the custom has been to follow a specific one, although we would otherwise have thought that perhaps the majority hold one way, so we should have followed the majority. Now, custom can tell us that we follow the minority. And that's all right. That's acceptable. Yeah.
Can you change your custom based on if you move to a new place?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's what you're supposed to do, really. Really, well, I mean, I was going to get into it a little later since you brought up the question. Ideally, custom is determined by location. Because the world has become not a melting pot, on the contrary, because people are keeping so many of their original customs. Today, the done thing has been where you come from. In other words, your ancestry. But really, the initial custom was not. When we speak of the custom of the ancestors, we don't mean your biological ancestors. We mean your ancestors from the city, the people who used to live here.
Could I my thought with that question is the concept of kitniot and Eretz Yisrael having their own like.
What you have to do is you're going to have to make a decision at some point in your life, which community you consider your own, and then you adopt the customs of that community.
What if you move during your lifetime? Like if you move, do you change?
Do you change? Really, you're supposed to. If you change and meaning if you move and have no intent of moving back, then you're supposed to adopt the customs of the new community. It's we've had historically we've had some interesting. There were Rishonim who moved from. There were Rishonim that moved from Germany to Spain. You know, and they changed what they were saying.
Is there authenticity? Like I don't know where I heard it from. I don't know the source, but I know that there's like the mesorah Eretz Yisrael or something like this.
No, that's something we tried.
Really? Okay.
Something we tried. There are certain things that are Israeli customs or Yerushalayim customs, but that mesorah Eretz Yisrael was a contrived thing, which is a hodgepodge of the different nuschos to make everyone happy, but really fulfilled nothing.
Really?
It was nobody's Shimon Esrei, it's nobody's Daven. I think it was originally made for the army because they didn't want people. You know, they wanted everyone in the army to daven the same way. Pardon me, the army, you know, everyone's the same.
Yeah.
Everyone wears the same uniform.
So I have a specific question. If I have family members who, when someone's traveling, let's say with a cart, they get water, they might put some like mittens or something in it, throw it behind the car, in front of the car. I don't know if that's rooted in superstition, but I think it's more rooted in like, oh, it's a good sign to have safe travels. Is that halachically?
If it's a sign, it's wonderful. You're allowed to make signs. If it's a superstition and they really think that is going to keep them safe, is Torah prohibition. Interview them, do they know what they're doing? Are they thinking? No idea. Now, there's one more thing that tradition can do. And that is, we find the concept in halacha of lechatchila, and what we mispronounce as b'di'eved, or more precisely b'di'avad, which means one is the ideal, one is, all right, if you didn't do the ideal, you fulfilled the mitzvah. Custom can turn a b'di'eved into a lechatchila.
Which one's which?
Lechatchila is the ideal. B'di'evet is, I guess you did it already, or it's a real time of need. Custom tells us that something that would have worked as a b'di'evet now becomes a chavila. This is the way to go do it. It's actually a Gemara that says this.
Just went to yesterday.
Excuse me?
We just learned the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah about this, about how the Tana Kama says one thing is b'di'evet and one thing is lechatchila, and Rabbi Yossi says the opposite about the Musaf davening and
Musaf davening Rosh Hashanah. Okay. Custom can turn a b'di'evet into a lechatchila. I will give you. I'll give you a classic example of that. What bracha do we say over chocolate?
Chocolate.
Why?
Should be a dama.
there's so much sugar in it.
8.
Process so you can't buy it anymore.
But that's what it's grown for. Something processed that where no longer is recognizable only loses its bracha if it's really meant to be eaten raw. Something that is grown for the sake of processing, when you process, that is its ideal state. You should be making the real bracha.
The same for coffee then?
Well, coffee is made for a drink.
And all drinks are
All drinks are charcoal, with the exception of
wine.
wine and olive oil.
I think
Really?
for milk chocolate,
Well,
it's
what?
not, for milk chocolate, it's not majority cacao at that point, it's majority milk. I thought it was.
You're not trying to eat milk.
Right.
You're trying to eat chocolate. It's just that chocolate is very bitter. So we mix chocolate with other things. Unless you're someone who's really into
It's a whole new thing. It's nothing like the original.
but that's what it's grown for.
In flavor, in everything, there's nothing that compares it to
The flavor is the original, it's just that you've I guess neutralized it a bit.
I've eaten it straight out after it's roasted, and it's nothing like chocolate.
It's sharp, it's very sharp.
Yeah.
Sharp, very bitter and very sharp.
Wait, what bracha do you make when you drink olive oil?
Yeah.
That's what you drink it for. If you drink it straight, you make no bracha because it tastes terrible.
For your voice.
If you're having it with other foods for the sake of the olive oil, let's say it's for the sake of your throat or something else the doctor has told you, you can say Berkovits.
Well,
Imagine.
why is that? Only olive oil and grape juice.
Because olives and grapes are grown for their juice no less than the fruit itself, even more than the fruit itself. Wine and olive oil are more widely used than grapes and olives.
Coconut water.
Well, that's the same as chocolate. Because chocolate is pretty much only used for it's not a drink,
Chocolate is, most chocolate is not used in drinks.
but it's mostly used for not to be just like grapes are mostly made to be turned into something else.
They're made to be turned into something else, but not a drink. They're made to be turned into chocolate.
So why is it chocolate?
So they should have been buried without eights. Is the way the cane crossed.
Could I?
The customs make a shakol. We're not so sure why. But that is the custom. Since the halacha is that if you make a shakol on any food, you're okay. It's b'di'evet, it works.
But you're supposed to use more specific.
So custom could turn that into lechatchila.
Could I ask a question on
Now,
chocolate?
why should such a custom have emerged? We can give all the theories we want, but bottom line today, we say shakol on chocolate because that is the custom, and it's not against halakha because everyone agrees that if you say a shakol on anything, you're yotze.
Are you just saying it's in chocolate, on chocolate?
Yeah, of course you're yotze. It's the right bracha.
What after
You should
bracha
do,
makes
but
the after bracha makes
for innovations,
yeah.
it's not one of the 7 species.
It's a little. But why is it not a special bracha for me?
It's a great question. It sort of indicates something, doesn't it?
Like, it seems like it means like such a, like a special thing that it's.
Yeah, so I mean, what's more sophisticated, what grows more in a more sophisticated manner? Stuff that grows on trees, why alive being? I don't know, it would seem to indicate that whatever Adam wasn't allowed to eat may not be the greatest. But that one day we may go back to being vegan, whatever.
So it's just like, it's just because we're not technically, we shouldn't eat them technically?
No, should you not eat meat?
No, well, no.
You can't eat meat. Now, the question is there something wrong with eating meat? Could be.
And so don't like make it special.
You don't make a special bracha. We certainly see that it's considered, that's the way you show, a festive meal should be a meat meal.
We use meat for kavanah.
What?
We use meat for kavanah. So
We
it's
also use flour. Well,
The flour has two of the two major brachos.
yeah.
It's
Flour sustenance.
Yeah.
You don't fill up on meat. You're not supposed to. Rashi says there are chariots that you don't use meat to fill yourself. I guess in those days bread had more protein. So custom can turn b'di'evet into a lach. Yeah. There's always the question of, is it permissible for somebody who keeps one custom to assist someone who keeps a different custom in doing what that different custom allows and yours doesn't? And then vice versa. Is there anything wrong with an Ashkenazi inviting Sephardim and serving them kitniyot on Pesach? The answer is no. No. It's not that an Ashkenazi believes that Sephardim are wrong for eating kitniyot. Every Ashkenazi knows the only reason he's not eating kitniyot is because he's an Ashkenazi, it's an Ashkenazi custom. Had he been a Sephardi, he would have been eating. So in assisting someone in obtaining or eating kitniyot, if his custom is to eat them, is not problematic at all. Question's the other way around. Could a Sephardi give Ashkenazi kitniyot on Pesach? Sephardi believes it's right. The Ashkenazi doesn't.
Is it Nevera if an Ashkenaz?
He's breaking custom, sure.
Really?
Yeah. So if I believe it's permissible, but I know you believe that it's not, can I give it to you? The answer is no. You're not supposed to do it. So there are questions that when you're doing something for the public, to what degree do you have to make sure that Sephardim are doing Sephardi stuff and Ashkenazi stuff? I'll give you what has become one of the more common questions. There are organizations that to encourage people to get tefillin or to encourage people to put up mezuzos, they will supply them with tefillin or mezuzos. It is no secret Sephardi tefillin are a lot easier to write and therefore much cheaper. The Sephardi writing is much simpler than the Ashkenazi.
Why is that?
Customarily, we don't understand it because the source to the Ashkenazi alphabet in Tefillin Mezuzahs is none other than the Beit Yosef. But Sephardi writing something else. Sephardi mezuzahs are much cheaper. Sephardi tefillin are much cheaper. It is so much easier to write Sephardi than Ashkenazi.
Is that why the Sardis do like the more fancy Torahs that to make up for the price? To make it more expensive?
I don't think so. I think they just, their custom is to beautify the Sefer Torah the way they do, and Ashkenazim do it the way they do. Everyone agrees that the Sephardi one is the way it always was.
Really?
Yeah.
It's an Ashkenazi, let's do it.
I'm not talking about the alphabet, I'm talking about the Sefer Torah,
Like the metal casing kind of thing?
More engineered.
The whole time they used to have wooden ones. They got metal in the olden days, but that was the way the Sefer Torah looked.
So why did the Ashkenazi change?
We have no idea why and when.
Really? Okay.
Cool.
So getting back to the question of providing everybody with Sephardi mezuzahs because they're cheaper. Even though ideally an Ashkenazi should be putting up an Ashkenazi mezuzah, if the goal is to get as many people as possible to put up mezuzahs, if you can, by giving them Ashkenazi ones, get more mezuzahs written, then it's worth it.
The Sparty ones?
What?
Giving them Ashkenaz or giving them Sparty?
Give everyone Sephardi ones.
Are you, is it Ashkenazi Yotzi?
Yes, you don't say it's b'diavad.
I had to put on like my friend's Sephardi too.
That's fine.
So, if I ask, why would eating kidney be in the Beira and not B'diavad Pesach?
Because the Ashkenazi custom is to consider it eating something they're not allowed to eat. You're just not allowed to. It is only permissible when there's nothing else to eat for Ashkenazi.
Okay.
Why is the Ashkenazi mezuzah sideways and
It's another thing. There's a machlokes if it's supposed to be straight or actually horizontal. Vertical or horizontal. Ashkenazim compromise and put it at an angle. It's fine to just put it straight.
and so if an Ashkenazi performed the mitzvah of putting up a mezuzah, but he put it up a Sephardi one, that's b'diavad not like chatchila.
If
If an Ashkenazi wanted to fulfill the mitzvah of putting up a mezuzah, but he only had the option to do a Sephardi one in a Sephardi place, that's b'diavad? That's,
under the circumstances, you put it up.
but is that
It's
b'diavad?
b'diavad to use the wrong one. But it's b'diavad, it's doable.
The one time I heard put up a mezuzah was Sephardi.
Okay.
Isn't the compromise adding like a third opinion?
That's the question. Do we accomplish anything with the compromise? Probably not. What is the custom anyway?
That's like the difference between Sephardi and
Sephardi straight up. You know, in the excavations next door, under the building here, next door, they discovered one of the oldest Befate Knesset. This is from the era immediately after the destruction of the temple.
Wow.
First basement touch?
But
First basement touch?
the second. And they found the grooves for the mezuzahs and they're straight.
If we find stuff like this, would we change?
Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, they brought him in to look at it. He said, yes, we're right.
If we find this, why would Ashkenazim change?
No.
Really?
No,
Why not?
because that's a custom. It's not wrong. I mean, fulfill the mitzvah, it's not ethical.
Okay.
What led to Ashkenaz? I heard this in the shir that if there's like two opinions, I heard they compromise on many issues.
And very few. Mezuzah is one of them.
Okay, so it's not.
Mezuzah is very no. So and that's an example of a custom in halacha. So custom can take a b'di'evet and turn it into a lechatchila. But once again, custom to tell you to do something wrong, that absolutely not. Yeah, but I think we covered this whole area. Fine. We're coming to the end of the system of halacha. I would like to start going through the philosophy of the different kinds of mitzvahs. So starting with that. Okay.